Blog Talk Radio.
Well, do you like drugs? Do you like drugs? Yeah, well, me too, baby.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Scandalous, our second episode. My name is April, aka Pisces Moon Goddess, on YouTube, Instagram, and all my social medias. And I'm here with my co-host, the lovely Apollonia Smith, aka The Astrology. Say what's up, Apollonia.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I was on mute. So used to muting the phone now. Hey world, how's it going?
All right, so tonight's show, last show we had was covering Aries men, dating Aries men, and we had an Aries man call in and share his experiences as an Aries man dating, and it was super interesting and super juicy. It was a very good show. So tonight we are talking about Pisces men, the good, the bad, and the scandalous experiences of dating a Pisces man. We will talk about, of course, the positive traits of Pisces men when you're dating them, and also the not-so-good experiences and traits. So before we do that, Happy, would you like to read our mission statement, or did you want me to?
Sure. I can go ahead and get that out because I have it right in front of me. My laptop was still up from last night. So, let's just jump right in. And this mission statement was created by the Cosmic Council, sort of our pledge of allegiance as a council, and a lot of our feelings and emotions are just jammed right packed into this pledge. So we'll share that with you now. And it states the Cosmic Council is dedicated to the teachings of astrological, metaphysical, esoteric, and spiritual knowledge. The members of this council pride themselves on keeping an open-minded approach while spreading love, light, and wisdom in the name of Aquarian unity. We are a group of diverse astrologers, intuitives, metaphysicians, and passionate affiliates. We all come with a broad voice that we are eager to share with the world from a creative, fun, rich, and powerful perspective. Of course, we all have our own flair, spin, and unique way of expressing ourselves creatively. Our goal is to speak to those that are rarely spoken to or for, say the things that are rarely stated, and uncover the things that are usually hidden, to bring light. We feel that it is our responsibility as light bearers to provide counsel, insight, and foresight to those seeking to know thyself. Like air, we hover over a situation with you to assist you in viewing the bigger picture. Like earth, we help you dissect the most needed pieces of the puzzle and create practical action steps. Like water, we cleanse, we heal, we quench your thirst. We seek to explore every emotion with you by getting to the root. Like fire, we ignite you, motivating you to take actionable steps for the greater good. We take our duties as a council seriously, and we stand by them diligently. That's the pledge. And I also wanted to go ahead and put out there, of course, like we mention every show, we are seeking affiliates. So if you are interested in being an affiliate of the Cosmic Council, or you have an amazing idea that you're passionate about and you would like to bring it to our platform, definitely email us at questions@thecosmiccouncil.com. Or if you already currently have a show and you would like to bring it over to the Cosmic Council Network, or maybe you do something really awesome on YouTube and you want to add it to an additional platform. So if you would like to become affiliate, just email us, and one of our treasurers/accountants will get back to you with any information that you may need.
Awesome. Okay. So let's dive right in. Before we get to all the traits, I just wanted to mention, I just want to talk really quick about the Grammys really quick because it's a hot topic. And the only thing we're going to talk about is we have to talk about Bruno Mars's performance last night. OMG. Or not last night. Sunday night. Sorry, Sunday night. I'm old. Sunday night when Bruno Mars performed as Prince. Oh, my God. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because we're talking about Pisces men. And I know people are like, no, but Bruno Mars is a Libra and Prince is a Gemini. Well, check it. Bruno Mars, rising sign, Pisces, okay? And we're talking tonight about Pisces men. That means they could be born in February or March under the sun sign of Pisces. They could be born under a moon in Pisces, a rising in Pisces. Maybe they have Venus, Mars, or Mercury in Pisces, or they have planets in the 12th house of their chart, or they have strong Neptune contacts, like Prince. His moon sign is Pisces. So he's a Pisces moon, but also he has the ruling planet of Pisces, which is Neptune, in his first house of the self in Scorpio. So he was like uber, like Pisces, Neptunian, other than being Gemini, Scorpio, and all that stuff. So it was beautiful to me as a lifelong Prince fan and as someone who is obsessed with Bruno Mars as much as Prince, almost as much as Prince. To see him perform, I was like, oh, it was like a dream, man. What about you, Appy? Did you get a chance to see it?
I have not seen it yet, unfortunately, but of course everybody at work was talking to me about it because they're like, oh my God, did you see the Prince performance? Because people just, and this has been happening all my life, like story of my life. My name is just like synonymous with anything Prince, anything purple. So, you know, whenever I wear purple, people are like, oh, purple is your favorite color. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But I kind of fell in love with purple before I knew that Prince was a purple lover too. So maybe it just happened by coincidence. I don't know. But, excuse me, all of my coworkers were asking me, had I seen the performance yet? And I planned on watching it today, but I got really super busy. So I promise I'll watch it tonight. But I'm sure he did. He did the king justice, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, he did. I actually watched only a clip of it on YouTube because I was busy working on videos and stuff to really tune into the whole Grammy fiasco scenario, whatever. But, of course, I caught all the aftermath, and all I cared about was Bruno and his Prince performance. It was phenomenal. It was dope. Very lovely. You know, Pisces energy can morph into anything or anyone that it wants to. That's why they make such great musicians, such great actors. So he really morphed into Prince, and it was a beautiful thing. I just wanted to mention that.
Yes, that is the truth about Pisces energy morphing. They are the masters of illusion, and they happen to pull it off a lot better than most air signs with the illusionary things because they have that water. They have that watery flair added to it. So, yeah, you're right about that for sure.
Yes. All right. So let's dive in. Let's dive into all the good stuff, the good traits of Pisces men when it comes to dating. So, Appy, why don't we start with you with good traits and any experiences that you may have, good experiences with dating Pisces men.
Okay, so I have a brother that's a Pisces. I have never dated a Pisces that I can recollect. I've talked to a few, but I would kind of immediately get turned off. But I definitely have observed Pisces men that my friends have dated and that have been in my family. So I do have my spidey sensitive drawed a lot of, I see what you're about type of thing from them. But personally, like I said, I have never been in any long-term relationships or anything with any Pisces men. Would be interesting, but I just haven't. So first off, starting with their good traits. Of course, hands down, Pisces men are super duper creative. Most people know that about Pisces men. Pretty much anything they pour just a tad of creative energy into, that shit turns to gold. My little brother, he's a Pisces, and just an example, he makes like prank videos. Like he will make random sporadic prank videos. So literally, he will have one of his homeboys or someone recording, and they'll be walking around Walmart or something, and he'll be making a prank around a innocent bystander, and they don't even really know what's going on, and they will turn around and make a face at him or something like that, and he's made this shit into like really cool videos, but he won't post them up to YouTube or anything like that. And I'm like, Ra, you should really like put yourself out there. This is really good stuff. So he clams up when it comes to exposing his creative talents, which is also another Pisces trait. They have to really love you or respect you in order to share with you. And the most famous line when it comes to creativity comes from a Pisces woman that I love, which is Erykah Badu. And she has that famous line, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. That's Pisces all day. They're sensitive about the creative work that they put out. It's like a baby to them. It's like, don't look at it sideways. Don't critique too much. Like, this is something I created. So, super creative people. They're very passionate. Of course, that ties into them being creative. If it's something that they want to do, they're super passionate about it. But if it's something that they don't want to do, they'll half-ass it or half-step it. But we'll talk about that later. They slay whatever they do creatively. Super affectionate people, very intuitive when it comes to their family, their loved ones, their spouses. They're intuitive enough to know your every need, want, and desire, sometimes to a fault. So I had to put that out there. I also had a homegirl who dated a Pisces guy for a while. And something that she would always say was that when they were sexually intimate, she would say, like, girl, it's like he's reading my mind. Like, literally, if I think it, he touches that spot or he kisses that spot. So they are very intuitive when it comes to their partner's needs, wants, and desires. Now, they are experts on whatever they love or whatever they're creatively passionate about. They immerse themselves in it, like they drench themselves in it, like they just want to bathe in Lake Minnetonka. You know, it's like they totally dash themselves with all of it, and they become experts on whatever they are obsessed about, sometimes to a fault as well. They're awesome helpmates. I have heard and I've seen that with a Pisces man, you can really kind of bring him home and create like a little ready-made family with him. Like he'll just kind of gel in with whatever's going on. Like he will morph into what you need him to be. He will be an awesome helpmate. Like you can delegate jobs to him. Like I have had female friends as well that would start dating a Pisces man or a Pisces guy, and like 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, he's playing stepdad. He's like helping cook, helping clean. Like he's just totally morphed into like that. Like they just checked him into the slot of being hubby or ready-made family guy. So awesome helpmates. And they help you come up with plans and figure shit out too. These guys can also be the savior type. I don't want to put my brother on blast, but some women definitely they gravitate towards Pisces men that are the savior types, or These men also can be known to pick up women that need a lot of help or, quote unquote, may not be that much of any good per se. And they could get the label amongst their friends as Captain Save-A-Ho, just to be honest. So we could look at that as a good trait. Is in his mind or from his perspective, he's reaching over to help someone from his heart. He can see the good in people, in women especially. He will pick up that chick that's a damsel in distress. But sometimes you can get a Pisces man that's down in the dumps, and he can be more of the one needing to be saved. So the world can reverse a lot. But we'll talk about that more also later. Caring, loving, very friendly. Now, I have noticed that Pisces men, some of them have an air to them, like the energy can be kind of uppity or bougie, but as soon as you get to talk to him, and chill with him, you're like, damn, he's really down to earth. He's really mad cool. But on the surface, it's kind of like they have a barrier, like that little precursor to them. And as soon as they get some drink in them or some smoke, it's like all that shit kind of crumbles. Or as soon as they just get in their chill zone, and you're like, damn, I thought you was going to be an asshole, or I thought you was going to be stuck up. And you're like really cool. And the last thing that I have, Pisces men, from what I hear from women as well, they have the power to really make you feel like they worship you, like they worship the ground you walk on, like you're their everything, like you're their queen, like they just, like the sun rises and sets on your ass. That's how a Pisces man, has the power to make you feel, which is why so many women feel slighted when a Pisces guy will break up with them, because they're like, damn, how did he go from worshiping me to literally hating me, not talking to me? It's like he will do a total 360 and it will just jack your whole shit up. Like, oh my God, what happened? So, those are my good traits. So passing the mic to you, April. And also tell us, too, have you had any experience with Pisces guys?
Yes, I have. One thing I forgot to mention before we get into all of that is the reason why we had the intro song as Miguel's Do You Like Drugs, whatever, is because Miguel, his moon sign is Pisces. He's a Pisces moon. And that song, if you really listen to the lyrics, they're super poetic and they're totally Piscean. It's all about escapism with your boo thing. Do you like drugs? I think he is more like a metaphor. It can be also literally, because Pisces is a sign of escapism, and unfortunately at times that does mean escapism through substances for enjoyment. But I think it's also a metaphor for, like, do you like to just escape reality with me and escape reality by doing these things that I'm listing, and that sounds like some poetic stuff. Miguel's lyrics are super poetic and metaphoric. Like, I love Miguel so much. So that's why I chose that song as our intro. And yes, I have dated Pisces men. I tend to attract Pisces men because my rising sign is Scorpio. And for Scorpios, our fifth house of romantic dating partnerships and relationships is Pisces. So, and I'm a Pisces moon. My moon sign is Pisces. So I'm super attracted to that Pisces energy. As far as experience, I'll just share the good parts of my experiences first. I was in a very long-term relationship with a Pisces. His sun sign is Pisces. And the good thing was the escapism, the positive escapism. Like, it's just us in our own little world, in our own little fishbowl type of thing. And, just to kind of reiterate on what Apollonia was saying was it is like they worship you. It's like you're their world. It's like Pisces, since it's a water sign, it really does want to submerge itself like within you, your spirit, your soul, your world, and they just want to become like your everything, and they want you guys to really join at the spirit. You really are one. That's something that I really enjoy about the Pisces energy. And, just escaping reality together. I've dated not only Pisces men, but I tend to attract men that have maybe like Neptune in their first house or on their ascendant, or Sun conjunct Neptune. All of my serious relationships have been with men who have those Pisces traits, and that is what I really enjoy, is just escaping reality with them. It's like when I'm with them, time just stops. There is no time. Everyone else and everything else around us just melts away, and it's just us. And, we don't really care if we're being, like, super, like, all this PDA going on between us, like, because to us it's just us, we don't care what other people think. We're in our own world, we're in our own zone. So you just get into that zone with a Pisces man, and it can be pretty lovely if you're into that type of thing. Some other positive traits are of Pisces men are, they can be very dreamy and poetic in their speech, especially if they have Mercury in Pisces. And a lot of Pisces men are animal lovers, and they're like gentle beings to where they really don't want to hurt anyone. And that means they don't want to hurt any type of being, meaning also, animals, people and animals. So they could be gentle souls. They could be very selfless and sacrificial. They are very empathetic because it's a water sign. All water signs are sensitive in some sort of way. This may be the type of man that may actually cry with you. I mean, some men will be like, stop being a little bitch. You're crying. The man's crying with you. But, hey, some women dig that sensitivity. Like, I wonder, I was going to say, Ralph Tresvant, I wonder if he has Pisces somewhere. I know he has his sun in opposition to Neptune, or Venus and Neptune, or something like that. He's got some Neptune going on, okay? So he's got some Pisces stuff a little bit in the mix. You need a man with sensitivity? If you need a man with sensitivity, find you a Pisces man. If you go crying to them, they won't be like, hey, girl, you need to stop all that crying. Stop whining, stop nagging at me. They may actually cry with you, or maybe not physically cry with you, but they'll be like having some empathy, having some sympathy right along with you and feel your pain, because Pisces is so empathetic. We really do feel the pain of other people. So, Ja Rule is a Pisces. Ja Rule's song, When I Cry, You Cry, We Cry Together, that totally makes sense. That's how a Pisces man may be. What else is good about them? There's just that creative stuff, man. Like Apollonia said, creative people, musicians. Usually they have some Pisces or Neptune in the mix, or 12th house or something. Musicians, poets, artists of any kind, actors, like dancers. Oh my God, me like being very attracted to Piscean men. I've always had a thing for men who can dance. Usually men who can dance really, really well, they have some Pisces or Neptune in the mix, because of the fact that dancing is just, you're channeling the music and the sounds, and your body just naturally moves to what you're hearing. And that's totally a Neptune thing, a Pisces thing. So, I'm not saying all Pisces men are good dancers, or you have to be a Pisces to be a good dancer. No. Don't get me twisted. I'm saying usually they have some of that energy within their chart somewhere. And it's very, very sexy, very attractive, a man who can just move and wave around. Ooh! Anyway, I'm getting myself. Okay. So what else is good about them? Well, if you like a man who is spiritual, whatever spiritual means to you, whether that means they are just really in touch with the unseen world and the fact that there is a higher source of power above us. I'm aware that everybody has their own thing that they believe in and that they see, so I'm not going to list, like, you have to be this religion or that religion. No, I mean, spiritual. You know, they are very in tune with themselves, with their own soul, with their own spirit, and also with the fact that there's a higher power. Usually Pisces men are very naturally in tune with that. And what they decide to do with that, you know, natural attunement to that is really up to them. Some of them do actually are, you know, religious men, like an organized religion. Some of them may just have their own spirituality they believe in, Buddhism, or, you know, something that's a little more like flowy and like, you know, like they just want to be harmless and kumbaya, you know, that type of man. Pisces men are generally usually like that. And so, yeah, if you're looking for a spiritual man, kumbaya man, you know, a little more relaxed, laid back, easygoing, go with the flow type of man, a Pisces man is probably the one for you. They don't really like to plan much in life. They like to just go with things as they feel, you know. So that's pretty much it for the good that I have with Pisces men. So, yeah, passing the mic.
Okay, so do you want to discuss some celeb Pisces men first before we get into the scandalous, or?
Yes. Let's talk about some celebs. So I'll let you take the mic first on this one since I just ran out of breath.
Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to give some real life examples of Pisces men and how we view them from a celebrity standpoint. So first up, and I just pulled his chart. First up, I have Rob Kardashian, and he's been in the media a lot lately. Him and Black China and their drama and all of this stuff about her taking the children, moving out away from him. Most recently, I seen a couple of days ago that Black China did go back to him like a month ago. So not too long after she left, but his family has supposedly put a private eye on her trail to catch her cheating or whatever. He accepted her back after all of those text messages were leaked from her phone. Now, just on the surface, I don't like them as a couple. I see Black China as an extreme gold digger. And I think she possibly has a Pisces moon, too. I think she's a Taurus Pisces herself.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So she definitely, you know, just like the old saying goes, earth sign women can be some of the greatest gold diggers when they put their mind to it. So earth sign meaning Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgos, if they put their mind to it, they can be some amazing gold diggers. But I definitely think that she has ulterior motives when it comes to Rob. Now, looking at his chart, I see right away he's Pisces sun, March 17th, and he was born in 1987. So he's going through his Saturn return as well, which is really crazy to be going through with just having a baby, you know, dealing with somebody that may or may not love you. I know that's really, really hard for him. He also has Mercury in Pisces, all in his first house. And then his sun is conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter made it to his second house, but it's a tight conjunction. And I think that has a lot to do with his weight up and down, as well as with Venus on the ascendant. And he's very insecure about his weight. He, you know, kind of closes himself off, not wanting to be seen, not wanting to spend time with his friends. And that Sun and Jupiter conjunction actually squares his 11th house, which is of his friends, his networking, his socializing. And I remember watching an episode of the Rob and Black China show, and his homeboys came over to the house for a get-together because Black China said that all he does is sit in the house, sleep, listen to music, watch TV, all Pisces man type shit that their mates complain about them doing, because it's like they kind of can create the life of a hermit when they just constantly push people out and, I just want to stay in the house in my own little fantasy world. And his friends came over to the house, and they had said that, well, you've been dating this girl for like a year, and we've never even met her. When she invited everyone over, that was the first time any of them had met her. And they all began to explain how their friendship ended with Rob. And they said one day Rob literally just cut them off. No phone calls, no text messages. He moved, literally nothing. Like, he just cut all of his friends off. And when China would ask him, like, why are you doing that? Why do you do that kind of stuff? And he said, well, I don't look the same. I'm not into the same stuff I used to be into. And then another thing, too, he's a Libra moon, but his moon is in the 8th house. So that can be super hard, having an 8th house moon. You really just want a few people that you can connect with and kind of merge with, which is why he probably just wants to have a wife and some kids and a family, and that's it. He doesn't need any other outside people. And then, not to mention, they really talk about the rumors that got out in the text messages about the sex being really awful with him. He has Mars in the 3rd house, and his Mars is opposite Pluto. So when a man's Mars is opposite Pluto, sometimes that could be really shitty. Like, his stroke game is weak, or he just fumbles in the bedroom, or, he just kind of can't figure out what the fuck he's doing. So that can be really difficult. And it's like, that's just, I know that's hard. I know that's hard. And that aspect alone explains why so many of those leaked text messages, she was talking about how whack he was in the sack and how she pretty much just lays there. And I know that was really embarrassing for him, but nonetheless, he took her ass back. And I definitely think that has something to do with his forgiving Venus on the ascendant, as well as her Pisces moon being in his 1st house. He definitely feels like he needs her. Like, she's his only hope. She's his only hope, and he's never going to get any other woman after her, is what he thinks in his mind. So, what do you think about Rob Kardashian's chart?
You pretty much covered it, and especially, I mean, he's a Pisces sun. He's a Libra moon in the 8th house. A lot of times, moon in the 8th house, people, that's the house. That's a house of other people's resources, so that can lead to codependency. And that, to me, explains why, he and China are living in a house that's actually, I think it's Kylie's. I think that's what they said. She's like, we moved into Kylie's house. I don't even think it's their house. I don't think they have a house together that they actually bought.
That is true. So, and that's funny that you tapped on that, because Rob doesn't have a job or anything that he actually does. Like, this show that they gave, it's true. This show that they gave him in China is like their first stream of income. So his family pretty much just siphons money to his account on a monthly basis, pretty much, because he does nothing. He wants to do nothing. Yeah. So that was why they signed on for that show, because that's their actual income.
Wow.
Yeah. It gets so, that's total 8th house moon right there.
Yeah, totally. So I just wanted to talk about the celeb I was going to mention really quickly before we take a break and then get into Scandalous and get into some calls the last 30 minutes. I just want to talk about Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd Mayweather, he's a Pisces. His sun sign is Pisces. But, you know, all the things we described about Pisces, about them being sensitive and all this stuff, you know, then people will probably think Floyd is a Pisces, but he's a fighter, you know. So that just goes to show that you need to look at a whole entire astrology chart because he may have elements of the Pisces qualities within his personality, but the other planets and, you know, everything else comes into play with adding to his personality. So, yes, Floyd is a Pisces sun. But also his moon sign is Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Earth signs rule money. Money, 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 money. Why do you think his mind's on his money, his mind's on his mind? He's got the money team. Everything is about money because the moon rules your perception in life. It's your emotional self, how you process your, you know, emotional thoughts and feelings and all that stuff. So money rules. Money rules his mind and his feelings, all about his money. Also, he has Jupiter in Taurus next to the moon. So Jupiter is like feeling abundant, you know, feeling abundance and like you just have the world in your hands. So he feels like he has an abundance of money with it being in Taurus. He's all about the material. That's why he's on this whole money thing. Floyd's Mercury and Mars are in a conjunction in Aquarius. So Mercury and Aquarius people are pretty intelligent, and they're pretty outside-the-box thinkers and doers. When Mercury, which is also rules the hands, comes into contact with Mars, which rules fighting, I mean, it makes sense when you do the math of why he is a fighter. But also, Mercury is your speech, your communication. Mars is anger and aggression. So that's why he is like, he talks a whole big game. He talks. But guess what? That Pisces energy is good at what? Dancing. That's why people are like, all he does is just dance around the ring. And I'm not too heavily into boxing. Like, I'm not a hardcore, diehard boxing fan. But, hey, I can understand an ass whooping better than I can understand football. So I'll watch some boxing here and there. It's two individuals. I can study their charts. I can, you know, strategize and all that stuff. So this is what I see. He's a phenomenal dancer with that Pisces energy, but he talks a good game with that Mercury and that Mars conjunction. He talks, and then he's all about his money. So, and Pisces energy, which we will get into in a second, the more, you know, scandalous or negative traits, can be a little shady on the negative side. It does rule the hidden. It's one of the energies that rules hidden, things that are hidden and behind the scenes. So, you know, the question in the media and all the gossip is whether or not he is messing with T.I.'s wife, Tiny. What is their friendship? I did take a look at both of their charts together. It'll take probably too long for me to go through the whole entire spiel. I was like, what draws them to one another? What do they really have going on? I think there is some admiration there between the two of them, honestly. I'll just point
definitely.
out one aspect only.
Floyd has publicly stated that he is very intrigued by Tiny. Just to add that, you guys, if you want to Google it. Yeah, he's publicly said that Tiny intrigues him. So go ahead and spill the beans.
Well, astrologically, what shows what you just said is only one of the things I'm going to cover. His Venus sign is Aries. Venus for a man is what kind of woman you admire. It's at 18 degrees of Aries, and her Jupiter is at 23 degrees Aries. So his Venus and Jupiter expands. And when someone's Venus comes in contact with another person's Jupiter, they're in the same sign together, they're close together, that means, like, you expand their feelings of, like, Venus rules, like, really good feelings, enjoyment in life, and enjoyment of the feminine and of the five senses. So she, like, ignites this Venus stuff in him, you know, and it's undeniable right there. That's really the glue that I saw that kind of keeps them hanging out with one another, just from a very brief look. So from my observation, I can't really say until I take a really deep study into the two people's charts of whether or not they have something going on, but there's definitely an admiration of some sort there. So that's all I have to say about that.
And I just wanted to add about his money, and as I'm looking at his chart, South Node, you guys, where your South Node sits, usually tells you where you are coming from or where you have been in a previous life, if you're familiar with, like, reincarnation, astrology, and stuff like that. And side note, Rabina did a really awesome show on the nodes this past Saturday, so definitely check it out if you haven't. So Floyd Mayweather, his South Node is conjunct his Venus and conjunct his part of fortune in his second house. And part of fortune also speaks to wealth and fortune and how you can become wealthy in this particular life as well. Now, I have watched the Floyd Mayweather documentary online, and his mother stated that Floyd always would say when he was a boy that he was going to be rich, that he was a king in a past life, to the point where she said she asked him when he was a child, "Boy, what do you know about past lives?" And she would just laugh at him. And he would tell her that he was going to get her whatever she wanted. And when he got a big boy, he was going to be wealthy and he was going to take care of everybody. And this stellium in his second house, which rolls over to his moon in Jupiter, also in Taurus, definitely confirms for me that he was most likely a king in a past life and that he had been wealthy before, and he came into this life with certain triggers to know how to get wealthy again in this life. It just came naturally to him.
Wow.
Yeah. And also another thing that was added that his friend stated in the documentary, his friend said that you'll be sitting there having casual conversation with them, like with a group of people. So he said, imagine if Floyd is sitting there with his homeboys and they're all talking about how they experienced Dubai and it was so much fun and blah, blah, blah. And you're just sitting there because you've never been to Dubai and you don't really have anything to interject into the conversation. So he said, Floyd will be like, you never been to Dubai? All right, you got your passport? All right, we're going to make sure you get to Dubai next week. You're going to have a good time. We're going to send this one with you, this one with you. You're going to have a good time. His friends always speak about his generosity and how loving he is and how he literally simply, wants to see everybody happy around him. So, I just wanted to add that piece because I'm really intrigued by rags to riches stories. So it was a little project of mine to look at a lot of wealthy people's charts. So I would just wanted to add that about Floyd Mayweather. So, if you're ready, we can hit a musical intermission.
Actually, I think we're going to skip that tonight just so we can have enough time to talk to some callers. I really want to have some callers talk about their experiences. So let's just jump right into the bad and the scandalous experiences and traits. So
let's get it.
Okay. I had to close the door because, some of it ain't for children's ears. About to get scandalous up in here. Just kidding.
About to get scandalous.
Okay. So as far as some negative traits of Pisces men, well, either the victim or the savior role. It's like they can do a trade-off of playing either or, playing both. The thing is, Pisces energy is really prone to that because they really do want to save people. They want to help people. They really take in other people's problems and emotions. They take them to heart. They feel them, and they become their own. So, I've dated men before to where, they were always helping someone. They had, like, quote-unquote friends that were female that were always this damsel in distress, always needing his help. And I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, you're with me. Why are you going out to rescue these hoes? I mean, these chicks for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Captain
you're supposed
Save a
to
Hoe.
be exactly Captain Save 'em. Like, why? So they can play that role at times, or they can be the victim. Because since Pisces rules the oceans, the deepest water, a lot of times Piscean men and women, just Pisces in general, they can drown themselves in their emotions and stay there and wallow and just wave someone to throw them a life raft and not really take much action in life. So therefore they can become stuck and stagnant, and maybe you might hear a Pisces man talk about goals and plans and things he wants to do, and then you don't see them happen, and you're like, why? What happened? Why wasn't this happening? Well, I don't know. There's always some excuse. It's somebody else's fault. They're the victim or what have you. So, a lot of times they're not really the most action-oriented people because they can drown in that emotion. So that's just, Pisces in general. Like if you have a Pisces man who has some planets in Aries, for example, they may be more action-oriented. They may be big-time dreamers, but they actually go towards those dreams. Reality checks, man. These guys, the negative side, a lot of them, they cannot face reality. And when you bring reality to them, they're going to act like you're just the most harsh, meanest person in the whole wide world. And then they're going to play the victim, and then they're going to flip everything around on you, to you're the bad guy, not me, especially if you call them out on something they actually did, like some shady stuff. They're going to be like, no. Oh, my God, how dare you talk about me like that? What about you? And start pointing the finger at you. And then, oh, my God, I'm the victim and I need to run away. Pisces men are also notorious for pulling disappearing acts. I have had so many of my clients say, I don't know why this guy does this. We will be fine. We'll get into an argument or something, and then he disappears. And then they'll give me his chart, and it's either he's got Pisces energy or he's got like something in the 12th house, Mars in the 12th. Usually Mars and Pisces is famous for running off like this and disappearing. They go underwater, they go down at the bottom of the ocean, and they sulk and they hide, and they stay there, and they like the idea of being hidden away and you not being able to find them and thinking, oh, they're probably suffering without me. They get off on that, and like I said, especially if you call them out on something that they actually did that's shady. It's, they can turn things around like that and hide away. What else? I'll just name one last thing and pass the mic. Just lacking ambition, escapism, negative forms of escapism. Let me tell you, this is kind of personal, but, this show is kind of therapeutic here for a lot of us. Since I've always attracted Piscean types into my life romantically, I really love the fact that they're creative. A lot of them are very artistic and very sensitive, and I like the positive, escaping into our own world together type of thing. But unfortunately, what comes along with that territory at times is the negative side of escapism, which means they turn to substances, they turn to alcohol, they turn to drugs, they turn to other things that are pills, you know what I'm saying? They have to smoke weed all day, and it's just like, why can't you just, like, what's so terrible about the world that you can't just, like, be here and be present? Like, and then I, had bad experiences in all of my past relationships where they got out of control. They were drunk, they ended up wrecking vehicles, getting DUIs and going to prison, getting caught with possession and marijuana and going to prison. It's just, I was always like left there without a man, or they just weren't always present here in the present moment, always getting in trouble. It was just, or they would black out because they were under the influence of something. They would be abusive towards me. And then the next day, we'll wake up hungover and not remember anything. And I'm like, this is like Jekyll and Hyde. Why do you turn into this monster? You know, and like, this isn't fair to me. And then they'd be like, oh, babe, I'm sorry, then play that whole victim role, Pisces. It just becomes a vicious cycle when you are with a Piscean man that has these negative traits to where they escape reality through substances. And it's very unfortunate because it could be such beautiful souls, you know, if they didn't go that route. So that's all I have to say about that. Passing the mic, App.
Okay, so yeah, you covered a lot, and the dabbling in drugs, either recreational or full blown addicts, that was like tippy top on my list of the scandalous side of a Pisces man. And this, again, guys, this could be a Pisces sun sign, a Pisces moon. He could be a Pisces rising, or he could have a stellium or a cluster of planets in the sign of Pisces, or he can have a heavy Neptune transit, or his Neptune is afflicted somehow, meaning that his Neptune is making some crappy aspects to his personal planets. So, again, the heavy addiction issues, needing to escape through drugs, sex, TV. Of course, he may binge watch TV shows. He could binge eat. He could binge drink. Excess is nothing to him. Doing everything, which a lot of people can't figure out why, or that's hard for them to understand. Like, why do you have to OD on everything? I think that verbiage or that term, like, oh, you're ODing, like that comes from people with heavy Neptunian energy. And as a whole, we are having a Neptune in Pisces transit, which is why also in the world we hear more songs about drugs. Everything is about getting high, getting lifted. I can't feel my face, you know, all of that Neptunian
drinking that
shit
lean.
Because, drinking that lean. A funny story. When I moved to Texas, and I went to this bar or something, and the dude looked at me, and he was like, you be fucking with that lean? And I'm like, no. Who asks someone that? If I want to buy some lean, like, and then especially the shit that I would see it do to people, why would I want to do that? But, you know, anyway, I digress. So these guys definitely tend to be lovers, not fighters. Now, I have had some friends who have dated Pisces men, and they have actually been turned off by the fact that a Pisces man wouldn't actually jump up to defend them or, you know, be eager to throw down. You know, Floyd is the exception, especially with him having Mars and Mercury on his ascendant area. But a lot of times Pisces men are lovers. They're not fighters. So don't always think that just because he cries with you and he, you know, really understands your perspective, he may not just, like, jump in front of you and be that barking dog how an Aries man would, like we talked about last week. So don't always expect that from a Pisces man. So if you're the type of chick that wants a man that's going to defend you and stand up and fight for his woman, don't look for that with a Pisces guy. The victim or savior complex, we talked about that. These men tend to be obsessed with sleep. How, if you watch the Rob and Black China show, she talks about him being asleep a lot, to the fact that she has to, like, wake him up so he can come be a part of the show and actually earn his paycheck.
Wow.
Then that's the thing, too. Pisces men can be obsessed with one thing or many things. I have met Pisces guys that are obsessed with religion to the point that it's a turnoff. They could be obsessed with video games to the point that it's a turnoff. Obsessed with something that they don't know how to turn off. Like, okay, could you put that down and step into reality?
Yeah.
So that was something that one of the Pisces guys that I knew, that was a major turnoff. Like, he was really obsessed with religion and just, you know, and that was a little bit too much for me because, and even though, you know, some people might say that I'm obsessed with astrology, but I actually know how to put it down and have a mundane conversation with, even if I'm having, like, astrological mechanisms going on in my mind, I know how to have a regular conversation with a person. But a person that's heavily Neptune influenced or Piscean, a lot of times it's like they won't be able to shut it down to talk to you regularly. So that is an issue, too, that women can have with Pisces men. But I think we covered it all, besides the fact, too, them changing their minds at the flip of a switch. A lot of that turns Pisces women, a lot of that turns women off about Pisces men, the changing their minds like a flick of the switch, you know, like, well, I thought we had this plan in place, or I thought we were going to do this, and before you know it, it's like a totally different fucking plan, and you didn't get the memo. Especially, oh, God, don't get me started with men with Neptune on the ascendant. You guys can literally write down a plan. Like, we can sit here and map this shit out, have a step-by-step process, and then tomorrow, none of that shit went as planned. And you're like, well, what the fuck happened to the plan? Oh, I didn't know we were really doing that. Well, why the fuck did we sit down and make a plan? Why did we sit down and make a plan? We were just doing that for our health. We were just doing that to demonstrate how plans could work or might work.
That is so true. That could be so. If you are, especially if you're a woman who's a lot more fixed, like you're an Earth sign, or you're like a fixed sign like Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio.
Yeah.
That really can irritate you because you're all about plans, you're all about stability, and okay, you aim your arrow at something, and that's what you're going to do, and then here they come, this wishy-washy, slippery fish, you know, slipping out of your hands, flipping around everywhere, like, no, we're changing this, and then we're doing this, and it's like, oh my God, why? I just don't get it. Yes, and then they won't tell you till the last minute that they've decided to change the plan, and they're just going to tell you in the midst of it. So, yeah, I didn't do what you asked. I just said fuck that whole plan, but I really didn't want to deal with any confrontation, so I didn't tell you about it prior to. I'm just going to tell you about it in the midst of it or after you figure it out. So that could be another downfall with Pisces and Neptunian men. They don't like confrontation, so they will wait until it kind of just pops up, until it's the elephant in the room. And then you're like, oh, well, I thought. And then it becomes an argument, and then they shut down because they really don't want to talk about it. And it's like you defeated the whole purpose of saying you don't like confrontation, because now it's a confrontation because you withheld information. So, right.
Yeah. So,
and then
I think
here comes that whole victim
ahead.
thing. I was gonna say, I was gonna add to that. Then here comes that victim thing. Why are you picking on me? It's you. I'm gonna swim away and hide. Go get high somewhere and hide from you and shut off my phone. All right.
Exactly.
On that note, let's. All right. So we've got less than 30 minutes left. I think we should start taking some calls.
Yes, and I see some numbers duplicated here, so I don't know if something's going on with the system, so be mindful if you're answering, the same number twice.
Okay. So there's somebody that's been holding a long time, and there's actually a question mark, which means that they want to have a question or want to speak, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so caller, your phone number is 336-212. You're going to be live. I'm going to unmute your phone call, and will be on the air. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, caller.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
So what's your name and where are you calling from?
Sharita from Graham, North Carolina.
Nice to speak with you, Sharita. So do you have any Pisces man experiences you want to share with us?
Yeah, I'm currently dating a Pisces man.
Oh, wow. How is that going for you?
Well, I'm a Gemini, so it's kind of complicated.
Wow.
Interesting. I bet it's interesting.
Because when y'all were talking about how they go into hiding, and I'm a communicator, it just drives me insane.
Mm-hmm. How long have you two been together?
Like a little over a year.
Oh, wow. So something's making you stick with him. So tell us some of his good traits that are making you stay. I mean, you've been there for a year.
Well, he's a dedicated father, and he's a hard worker. He works extremely long hours, which is a problem for us. And he's very family-oriented. And also, he's like in the Masons. And so he's got a full life, like before I even entered it. So I knew that going in, but still, the closer I get to him, the more I want as far as time, which he doesn't have.
Now that's interesting.
And it's like when I'm trying to talk to him, it's like pulling wisdom teeth, not regular teeth, but wisdom teeth on, certain aspects of his life, because he's very, not secretive, but not, with coming of, like things that
they withhold information. They withhold information. They don't tell you the whole plan. Yeah.
And Pisces men, a lot of times they're Pisces are in their own heads a lot, since they're like the dreamers, the daydreamers, and sleep dreamers. They're in their own heads so much, and a lot of times because they are very intuitive, they expect you to be as intuitive as they are and to read their thoughts, and they forget that you can't sometimes. Not everybody can do that.
Right. Yeah. It's just like I don't know if it's. I mean, I love him to death, but it's just like frustrating, and then I get to the point where I just want to call it off, and then he gets upset, and then he goes into his, he just goes within. He just withdraws, and I won't hear from him for like a week.
Wow.
And that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm texting him, and he won't respond until he's ready, I guess.
Wow. So, Sharita, what I want you to do, my dear, call us back on Moon Monday so we can do a little synastry to see what's going on with him and you together. Because we really aren't doing any readings tonight. We're really just listening out for experiences with Pisces guys. But not this Monday coming, but the following Monday, because we're on every other Monday for Moon Monday. But I definitely would love for you to call us back and sit back and get a reading so we can, kind of dissect this and see what's up with him. Because one thing I have learned in my experiences of being an astrologer, one of the only signs that can shit on a Gemini is a Pisces.
Oh, my God.
Because a Pisces man, Pisces are the only ones that can get Geminis and play them at their own game, because Pisces are also that master of illusion, that double fish. Like you guys have that double twin. Like Pisces Yeah, it's no chore for a Pisces to get a Gemini at their own game. So he may be pulling a fast one on you. And, I don't want to scare you or anything, but a year of this, it's kind of like he has you on his strings. So
right, that's what I feel like.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's something definitely more to this story. So please tune in next Monday. Not this Monday coming, but the following. And,
the 27th.
The 27th. And we'll get you in so we can find out what's up with him.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Thank you. So thanks for calling in, Sharita. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
So we have another caller that's been holding a long time. Let's get them on. It's another 336 number, 336-210. So if you're calling in to speak with us, wait, hold on. Is your mic on? 336-210?
Yes. Yes, this is Tony. How are y'all?
I've
been listening in. I've been listening in. You guys are doing a good job.
I'll
make
Tony.
it for everybody else. Yes, yes. All right. Me.
Okay, thanks, Tony. We'll talk to you on Friday.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Okay, so who's next? It's been holding a long time. A 770-374. This number is actually duplicated, so I'm going to try to pick up either line. So 770-374, are you there? I think that may have been, they called in and they hung up, but it was still 770-374? Okay, all right. Well, let's try the next one. 770-374.
Yes,
You're on the air? Yes, hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Amina again.
Hi, Amina.
Hey, Amina.
Hey, Apple. I actually listened to the show yesterday for the first time, so I'm kind of like addicted. So I listened to this show today. I'm currently dating, I guess, a cuss baby. He's more of a Pisces now that I was listening to everything that you were saying. Oh, it hit everything on the head. I just wanted to scream, just like the first young lady who spoke. Yes, I've noticed that my boyfriend, when we tend to possibly get into a discussion, because I'm a Pisces myself, but I'm a cusp also. I'm an Aquarius Pisces, and he's a Pisces Aries. I don't know if that I know y'all know what I'm talking about.
Give me his birthday. Give me his birthday, Amina, and I'll see really quickly what planets or energy he's working with that's giving him some Piscean conditioning.
His birthday is March 23rd, 1985.
I think that's like 1 degree into Aries.
Yeah.
Or 0 degrees
right there.
Aries.
And I'm February 20th. I'm the first day of quote-unquote Pisces. So we're both Pisces. And we clash, I guess, sometimes because we're so much alike. But what I do love about my Pisces man, his creativity. He can draw, he can sing, he can rap. I'm like, boy, what can you not do? It's like when they are committed and when they are driven, they are hard workers. They do what needs to be done. They're motivated. They make the money if they need to. Like, he's perfect when he steps up in the play of a man. I guess he's a good man when it comes down to it. But when it comes to being angry, he's easily upset by, I feel like, the littlest things. Like, if I can ask you a question and get you upset, that's just too much. And it could be something simple like, so what do you want to eat tonight? We got to argue about what you want to eat tonight? Like, I'm just confused about that. It's just the simplest things that can turn into a bigger thing, and that's very frustrating to me. But I'm wondering, because I am kind of like the same person, if I do the same thing, I don't feel like I do. But it ultimately, like you said, it always seems like things switches back to me. Like, we could be in an argument and some kind of way I come back into play when it started off about him, and then it comes back to me, and I'm like, what do I have to do with this when I'm talking about you? So it is a mind thing, and I guess we both play those mind games. And like she said, he doesn't leave for days at a time. He does respect me in that way. He does shut down when it's time to communicate if we are not agreeing. It takes maybe a day or two, or sometimes I can, butter him up within a couple of hours to get him to talk, but it's really hard to break through once he's in his mode.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, everything else is beautiful.
Well, he definitely has some Piscean energy popping off, and yes, April was right. He's a 1 degree Aries, so in my book, that's definitely a cusp. He has some, the energy was still switching over from Pisces into Aries. Now, what gives him the benefit is that he actually has an Aries stellium, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Moon, and what I love about his chart, where you said that he can literally do everything, sing, dance, rap. He's a 10th house Pisces, so Neptune is his midheaven, so he has all of these Piscean gifts and talents that he can actually monetize. He can actually do big shit with. So hopefully, he's moving towards doing that, because that's really, really phenomenal, especially with all of this Aries energy at the top of his chart. If he takes charge of his career, he will really move forward with that. And the last thing I wanted to say, he has Neptune in his 7th house of marriage, so he's definitely acting like a Pisces man when it comes to the women that he's with. So it's not just you. If he was to marry somebody else, he would still exhibit these Neptunian traits with how he deals with a woman. Flipping the switch back on you, because Pisces energy, they love to deflect. They don't want the light shining on them for too long. Let's talk about what your issues are, since you want to bring my shit out on the table. That's why they're constantly deflecting, throwing it back, that type of thing. So, definitely call us back on the 27th, Amina, and we'll dissect you guys' synastry a bit more.
Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Yeah,
y'all doing a great job.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so thanks, Amina. So next caller, we've got a little more than 10 minutes left. So 310. 310, is this a Cali person? 310-261. You are on the air. Hello?
Oh, hello, ladies. Oh, hi. Hello, ladies. I'm just listening. Great show. It's my second time listening in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, awesome.
You're just calling. You're listening. You didn't have any input.
Yeah, I caught you in the archives. Well, I was hoping you guys would say something about Scorpios, but I guess it's Pisces night.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Scorpios sometime soon.
Well, I'll be sure to listen.
Okay. What's your name?
This is David from L.A.
David. Oh, from
thanks,
LA.
David.
Hey, LA in the house. Well, thanks for listening, David. I'll put you back on mute. Just continue listening.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
All righty. Okay.
Thanks. All right. So next caller, 662-298. You are on the air. Hello.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Hi. Who are we speaking to?
You're speaking to Tevin from Mississippi.
Hi, Tevin. Are you calling in to give some input, or were you just listening? What's going on?
Well, I could give some input, but I just so happen to have the most crazy Pisces story you guys will ever hear.
Ooh, well, we have
and it was interesting
minutes.
as I was. Yeah, it was. I can shorten it up real quick because I've had to tell it several times. I don't tell it to everyone though, because it's you don't really want to put your business out there like that. But now I live in Mississippi at the moment, but this all happened in Las Vegas, and I guess I had a lot of bad luck out in Las Vegas. It's just not the best place for I don't know, finding a partner. So I was dating someone, and I was listening to what you guys mentioned, and you mentioned a lot of things that were shockingly accurate. So this person, initially, my understanding was that she was a recovering addict. So it turns out that she was still a very active addict, and I was like, okay, I can deal with it. Actually, I can help her get over it. And she seemed like, because I guess that's what drug addicts do, they try to make it seem as if they're trying to improve, but they never have that in mind. So what ended up happening was I was kind of coerced into supporting her habit, and she's the kind of person where when I point those things out, she never takes any responsibility or acknowledges it. It just really turns into I'm the one at fault. And yeah, it goes really deep. And so we got to a point where she wasn't using drugs on the regular. But even without the drugs, I realized, you know what, you're kind of the same person. It's not really the drugs that's making you bad. There's something about you that's forcing you to use these drugs, and that's just something you've got to correct. And,
right.
Her mom, who had been dealing with her all her life, I got to know her, and her perspective was, well, she needs something. If we can get her off the serious stuff and, maybe have her smoke some marijuana or something like that every day just to keep her stable. That's what she needs. So if she didn't have that, she needed some kind of alcohol, and she just ends up going back and forth between guys, and she's just trying to find someone that would support her habit. So.
Wow. Well, thank you for calling in and sharing with us, Tevin. We're going to get to one more caller before we close the show out. And 757-541, you're on the air.
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hey.
Who are we speaking to?
My name's Kendra, and I'm from Virginia, and I've been on your show before, and I love what y'all do. So,
thanks, Kendra. So, any experience with Pisces men?
Yes, a lot of my family members are Pisces. My dad is a Pisces. Every guy I dated
same here.
My Saturn is in Pisces, so I find that to be interesting. And all the guys I've ever dated had either major planets in the 12th house, Neptune trines, squares, Mars and Pisces, or some kind of Pisces type of thing. And the drug thing is true. My dad was on drugs. Some of the guys I knew, they like to do like mushrooms and like skip around in like space with Jupiter and Neptune and all the planets and all this stuff. And then are like they escape in the universe somewhere, and they're not here. They're just somewhere else. They're very creative, talented, but they just escape everywhere. They can't help but be in space, and they kind of look kind of lost. Like they just look like they just wandering around like lost fish out of water. Like I don't know. That's just. But I like Pisces, man. My Pisces is in the 5th house, and I'm a Venus and Virgo and a Mars and Gemini with Scorpio ascendant. So I get Pisces men all the time. And they're cool. Mm-hmm. They just need to stay out of space and stop holding hands with Neptune, and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Stop being an astronaut.
Yeah. Yes, leave NASA alone.
You being a 5th house Pisces, yes, you have a lot of fun with Pisces. You have a lot of love for them. But if you can get one who has maybe a healthy obsession, then I think that would be good for you. And one of my favorite jazz musicians of all time, of course, and he died of a drug overdose, John William Coltrane. I'm a Coltrane fan. I'm a Pisces moon. A lot of times Pisces moon people, we like a lot of jazz, soulful music where we can hear all the instruments and stuff.
Yes.
And yes. I was attracted to John John Coltrane since I was a child, and he's a Pisces rising, died of a heroin overdose. So yeah, one of the greatest jazz musicians of all times, but he had that addiction, and he succumbed to that addiction. So thank you so much, Kendra, for calling in. Please continue to listen and share and all that good stuff. And we're down to our last 5 minutes. So what you want to close out with, April?
Just reiterate the fact that I just feel like I have to always explain this stuff so people understand that we are isolating the energy of Pisces only. Like when we do these shows and we talk about a certain sign, we're isolating the energy of that one sign. You have to look at a whole entire birth chart. If somebody has other energy, other signs, it may make them have other qualities that overshadow maybe their sun sign and balance things out. Like we said, Pisces is a lover, not a fighter, but some Pisces that'll throw down. I mean, because they may have planets in other signs that give them more of a masculine, aggressive, and physical type of energy to them. So I just wanted to reiterate on that. And also just name a few other famous Pisces men. Alan Thicke, who we just lost, unfortunately. He was a Pisces, and also his son, Robin Thicke, is a Pisces. We talked about him in our last show, if you want to catch the replay. Kurt Cobain was a Pisces. I loved Kurt. He was so dope. Adam Levine, Quincy Jones, Justin Bieber. Yeah. Also some famous men with Pisces moon. Of course, Michael Jackson, Prince, Elvis, like the top, Pisces moon.
That
Pisces
fine-ass Common.
Yes, and Common. Well, Common is a Pisces sun, right? Is he Pisces moon too?
Yeah, supposedly he's a double Pisces.
Oh, no wonder. Ooh, we'll talk about him and Erykah Badu's synastry one day. But also Miguel. Ooh, love Miguel. We're actually going to close out with his song again in a second. Miguel's a Pisces moon. Bruno Mars is a Pisces rising. I love him. We talked about him. Michael Jackson's a Pisces rising and Pisces moon. Just Pisces men are dope, man. Just if you guys could just leave the drugs alone and be in touch with reality sometimes. like our caller said, be here, be present, okay? You guys are like some of the dopest in my opinion. So that's it.
Very
that's all
true.
I have to say.
And eventually, to all you Kurt Cobain lovers out there, I know at some point Tony is going to do Voices Behind the Veil, Voices Beyond the Veil, because Kurt Cobain was a Pisces that committed suicide. So definitely one day going to delve into his chart to, see some of the deep-seated issues that may have been underlying there, because that is another dark-sided trait of Piscean men, feeling like they are so out of touch with reality that they just want to check out ASAP. So if you've ever dated a Pisces guy, you've probably heard suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. So, but thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you for being here. The Good, the Bad, and the Scandalous, episode 2. And next time we're going to throw it back to Taurus men. So check us out. Not this Tuesday coming, but the following. Signing off.
Peace.
Do you like drugs?